my name is Ryan Lane, and welcome to my review channel. So for today's movie, I will be reviewing Marlowe, directed by Neil Jordan and starring Liam Neeson and Diane Kruger. Anyway, this film tells the story of Marlowe, played by Liam Neeson. He's a private eye who works cases in Bay City in Los Angeles, California, in the wake of losing his police pension. One day, he receives a case from a rich socialite by the name of Claire Cavendish, played by Diane Kruger, who tasks him with, discreetly I might add, finding her lover, who is not the same as her husband. And so begins a case which predictably and inevitably becomes a bit more complicated beyond a simple missing persons case. So, this film is very boring and lacking in energy. It's very rote in how it approaches its characters. The main characters, they lack depth, and the roles require the actors to do most of the heavy lifting. Neeson is saddled with another stereotypical noir detective role, the likes of which you've seen done better in multiple films before this one, and he isn't given much backstory to work with that isn't original beyond, oh, he fought in World War One and he, lost his job because, alcoholism and stuff. And then there's Diane Kruger, who plays the aforementioned socialite. Her role clearly falls into the femme fatale role, but again, she does her best, but she doesn't have much personality to work off beyond what's been done before in other movies. And then there are roles like the ambassador, to which the character is simply referred to, and some of these characters are just so underwritten that they barely register at times, despite seemingly having a big role to play in the plot of the movie, as these characters are name dropped so much. You're like, even despite that, throughout the movie you'll be like, what you do again? The film doesn't really do a good job of clearly defining the roles. It uses a lot of expository dialogue, which just makes it that harder to keep up with the plot. Some characters do manage to shine a little bit. The rich socialite's mother, a former Hollywood actress, does a good job as a pragmatic actress with delusions of grandeur. Plus, there's a driver by the name of Cedric who manages to get in some good interesting lines and is actually kind of engaging. The character seems engaged in the role. Plus, he gets to do some. You get to see him get some comeuppance in the film, and you'll feel very satisfied when he does. And I mean that in that the character gets comeuppance on other characters. So yeah, he gets to be a little interesting throughout the film. And overall, the story itself kind of lacks two important things: energy and imagination. This film hits the tropes of the noir genre with little to no imagination, and it kind of just goes through the motions. Plus, the scenes have the energy of a snail that's been given sleeping pills. Not feasibly possible, but I think you get the idea. Even some of the action scenes feel slow, and it doesn't help that they're haphazardly edited as well. So I was working hard to stay awake throughout the movie. That's how slow things get. And not in a slow burn way, but just plain slow. The film also focuses way too much upon the semantics of the investigation itself. It's like of where people died and where they didn't, and how to file a police report. It just bores the audience to no end. It's not until the third act that this film somehow manages to find some energy and get interesting, as secondary characters like Cedric finally get a chance to shine, and the plot is suddenly infused with energy. There are shootouts, neon-drenched visuals, and the characters finally seem to care about the events unfolding throughout the film. But this newfound energy isn't enough to overcome a muddled plot that obfuscates rather than illuminates its characters' goals. are a few definite positives. The set design is alright, it captures the feeling of 1930s LA well enough. And the cinematography, outside of the aforementioned clunkily edited action scenes, is pretty decent. However, there is a rather cheap looking aerial shot at the beginning of the film that screams, we didn't have enough budget money to recreate LA circa the 1930s, so we just CGI'd it instead. So overall, I'd say if you have the feeling to watch a noir film, I'd look for better ones because this one is not worth your while. So overall, Marlowe is a cliched story that lacks energy and overlies upon its overqualified cast to entertain the audience. So with all that in mind, I will be giving Marlowe 2 out of 5 stars. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. If you like this review and would like to see more like it, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. And for today's comment section prompt of the day, did you like Marlowe? Why or why not?